Hey guys, welcome back to Ruck Rolll. And today's one, I've stumbled across these videos from the Wallabies, its advertisements, from Eddie Jones stars in these advertisements, and it's very unique to get a coach star in advertisements and stuff like that for a rugby team. I can see what Eddie Jones wants to do, but we'll have more of a chat as we watch the video. So let's check it out.
Wallabies world champions. Big call.
That's Eddie.
Yeah, mate.
The All Blacks are looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Springboks, they got a lot of depth.
Mm.
And the French, they have the best player in the world. What's his name?
Dupont.
That's the one. Antoine Dupont.
Useful.
Wish you had more of those, hey? Wouldn't want to be in your shoes, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Wait, so you blokes think you can win the whole thing?
Mate, we're not going to France for the croissants.
So just after that one, I think the point that he's trying to make is don't underestimate us. And I think that's the narrative that Eddie's trying to play here, is where he's trying to say, look, I will prove you all wrong. He kind of loves playing the villain, Eddie, and that's an interesting, dynamic for me as a coach. He loves taking on the world. He likes to challenge everyone around him. And obviously when it pulls off, it's great. But it's not so great if it doesn't pull off. But yeah, before I go any further, what I liked about that video is I think the point that he's trying to make is everyone's got an opinion, but don't underestimate us. And with that said, it's probably a good year for him to be able to be a bit confident on the World Cup, because let's all be honest, it's a pretty decent draw for the Wallabies to be in with Wales, which has really not been performing all that well. So, yeah, they have a very, very good chance of going on top of their pool. But from there, it still gets tough. So, yeah, you can be sure of probably making it to a quarters, which is it's nice for a coach to know, because, you're much more under the axe if you fall out in the pool stages than when you make it to the actual quarterfinals, or at least semis, which means he only really has to focus on a quarterfinal win. He's going to focus on everything, but what I mean is, if they play to their full potential, they should be able to beat Wales. And that means then, it's just that quarterfinal win that's got to be the big one for them. But nevertheless, let me not blabber on too much. Let's check the other one, because I found both these ads to be really good. This one.
Dad, there's a bloke he reckons the Wallabies are going.
By the way, this was on Facebook.
What, this year?
Yeah, this year in France.
Please, tell him the Wallabies are ranked like number 7 in the world.
The Wallabies are ranked like number 7. Oh, he said he knows that.
Well, tell him France are playing at home this year.
He said France are playing at home this year.
What'd he say?
He says you really know your rugby, and what else you got?
You could tell him from me, the Wallabies have absolutely no chance.
Dad said the Wallabies have absolutely no chance.
Absolutely no chance.
Taking notes.
Perfect.
Who is this for?
The Wallabies. We love proving Dad's wrong.
You gotta love that one. Love proving Dad's wrong. So I think it's interesting the stance that Eddie's taking with obviously the Australian rugby fan public. It's almost like he's challenging them a bit. We know in the true Australian spirit, they'd probably find the humour in that. For me, I find it interesting that he'd go through that approach. You find many coaches kind of like Rassie Erasmus likes to make documentaries about the Springboks, and everyone's got their different angles. I think as for the All Blacks, they keep it very kind of diplomatic in the media. But what I find interesting with his approach, Eddie Jones's approach, is the fact that he's trying to kind of challenge people in Australia, and he loves challenging the media, as we know. He loves challenging everyone where he can. But with that said, that's probably like playing, high stakes poker, in my opinion, because great, you go call all dads out in Australia, all Wallaby fans, to call them out to say, yeah, you're writing us off, right? Kind of calling them out with a haircut, saying, yeah, all public say, oh, you up for it, you're not going to make it. kind of challenging everyone, don't underestimate us, you know, kind of wanting to play that underdog type approach, which, you know, for the most part, it makes sense going that way. And I know what Eddie's also trying to do. He's trying to bring back some attention to rugby, because you got the Australian League, you got so much sport in Australia, and rugby union's kind of died a bit. So he's trying to bring it back. So I see the bigger intention of Eddie, but it's the way he's doing it, because it's high stakes. Because say he does terribly, right? Say he doesn't do well. I'm not saying he's going to, but say he doesn't do well with this team and they do not do well in the World Cup. Then what? You know, then suddenly you've challenged all these supporters and you have actually not been able to turn it around for them. And then suddenly everyone's like, what an idiot, you know, oh, you're an idiot. And you actually maybe lose fans because of that, because then suddenly they kind of hate you, they don't like you. I'm just saying, on the other side, there's nothing better to any person, and definitely coaches, to prove everyone wrong. So I get what he's trying to do. If he pulls it off, then he'll build up, you know, rejuvenated faith in him, because after the whole England thing, he's got to do something. He's done good with England, you know. It's not like you can say he did a bad thing, but the last few years has been not good for him, and his reputation, everyone's kind of like he's too old, if you could say that. So I think he's trying to build his reputation back up, which I get, but it's risky, man. We'll see how it pulls off. But thoroughly enjoyed both ads. If you enjoyed this video, please, you guys know what to do. I know a lot of people say, oh, don't ask people to subscribe. Trust me, I've built a few YouTube channels over my career. Yes, you do ask to subscribe, because it's strange how people will watch your movies. Strange how people will watch your videos, but never hit the subscribe button. So you got to ask them, and maybe one day you get them. You never know it. Thanks, guys. Anyway, see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.